Which country you come from?
My name is Rishad and I came from Bangladesh.
Okay. And now what's your major?
My major is computer science and technology.
Okay. Which university?
Currently, I'm studying at Zhejiang Gongsheng University, but I did my bachelor from Hangzhou Dianji University.
Oh, that's nice. So why you choose China for your study?
After completing my senior high school degree, I was searching some universities in Europe and some other countries for my bachelor degree, but there was time limitation and some complication about visa, and I had some of my brothers, they're studying in different universities in China, and they were recommending me that China is really good for study, especially engineering, because it's now one of the fast developing country in the world. So I thought, why not to try in China, and then I tried and I came here.
Okay, got it. So what do you most like in China? What fascinates?
I think the first thing is Chinese people. They are so friendly, and the living environment in China is so amazing. We have peace everywhere, and it's safe, and life is so convenient. Technology advancement. So yeah, I think the lifestyle and the people.
Okay. So what's your plan after your graduation? Will you gonna be here?
Currently, I'm doing my master degree, so I have planned to do job after completing the graduation. But I'm not quite sure, but I will maybe go for a PhD or something. But first, I will try for job because I heard that in Hangzhou it's tough to get job without a master degree. So I stayed, and maybe I will apply for job.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your opinion.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, guys, so welcome to our new live streaming session. We've had two sessions before. The first one, we talked about how you can choose a Chinese university, and then we talk about what the best unis in China. And today we'll talk about the best cities in China that you can choose for your university studies, right? And so actually China is a pretty big country. There are 34 provinces, and each province we have different cities to explore. There are some very famous, very big cities. There are also some of very small towns and villages, or I should call them small cities. In general, I think that China has become a more popular place for studying abroad, right? And so, and we're going to talk about some of the most famous cities in China. I know everybody knows Beijing and Shanghai and Shenzhen for sure, but we still have a lot more cities to choose from, right? So we'll actually go over the city one by one. We'll talk about what each city has to offer, and what you can experience actually living in different cities. Okay, so now let's start with the cities one by. We'll start talking about the cities one by one. Okay, so we all know that Beijing is actually the most popular city here in China. It's the capital city of China, right, my friends? Guys, before we start, I do want to remind you that we are from AOE Chinese. We are a very, very comprehensive service specializing in Mandarin studies and HSK exams, and then studying China programs, right? So if you have anything that particularly fascinates you, you can contact us. Our study in China program is not only comprehensive, but it is also very professional. We help you with university selections, document submission, and verification, and we walk you through the entire application process. And in the end, we will help you with scholarship applications, pre-arrival orientation, and post-arrival arrangements. It's like a one fit all service. It covers every single thing. Okay, so that's that. And okay, so we'll talk. So we'll continue talking about Beijing, which is the capital city of China. With it being the capital city of China, we know this is actually the political center of China, right? And so if we go to Chang'an Avenue, this Chang'an Avenue, they have this huge, grandiose view, like a very broad view of different political institutions and architecture. So first we have like the National People's Hall. This is where we host different national meetings. For example, it's called double sessions, and we also have different kind of like international events are held there. Like if a foreign president is going to visit, the foreign president will be hosted at the National People's Hall, and this is actually home to China's National People's Congress, right? And then we also have, I think that, yeah, it's called Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square, it's like this red wall, but this red wall has this kind of like, it's a sign of China's power, right? Generally speaking, if you can live inside Tiananmen, you're obviously going to be the most powerful man in China, and that's why they have this saying on there. It says "Long life People's Republic of China." I think "Long life the Chinese Communist Party." This great wall with Mao Zedong's photo on the in the middle, and also they have a national emblem inside. And every morning or every evening, that is where the People's Liberation Army will march forward and do the flag raising ceremony. I don't know what time it is. Maybe it's at 7 a.m. or maybe 6 a.m. I'm not 100% sure. Right. And then if you walk past Tiananmen, you'll come to Zhongnanhai High Compound. And this is like the residential place of China's leaders. Most of the foreign leaders, when they first arrive in China, they will go to that place called, called National People's Hall. After they visit National People's Hall, they will drive their motorcade past Tiananmen Square and they will move down to Zhongnanhai High Compound. But so pretty much what I'm trying to say is that Beijing is like the political center of People's Republic of China, and even the founding of PRC was held like on October 1st, 1949. Tiananmen was where Mao Zedong actually stepped. He climbed upon the wall and he officially declared the founding of People's Republic of China. And so if you're an international student, you can just walk around China Avenue, take a look at those grandest views, right? And you may get the chance to observe a national event taking place at Chang'an Avenue, which may be wonderful. I've personally never been at a national event at Chang'an Avenue before, but I think Chang'an Avenue is pretty lavish and pretty grandiose. Really, it is China's political center on Chang'an Avenue. And then, there are also different like cultural sites you can visit in Beijing. For example, we have the Forbidden City, right? We have Yuanmingyuan compound. We have the Great Wall of China. Just different sort of things in China, right? That we always like, you can visit. Especially, I think if there's a saying called, if you've never been to the Great Wall of China, you've never been to Beijing before. So this actually resembles how important the Great Wall of China is. I mean, if you're actually climbing the Great Wall, you can get a really magnificent view of all the forests, all the mountains. Like the view is just like breathtaking. Of course, I know that if you go there during a national holiday, all you'll see is just people's heads, right? Seriously, they will be just like crammed with tourists, and that sort of place is like so. How am I meant to say? It's just like so crowded, and you don't have a place to stand. Okay, so that's that. And then, but this is the most important part, I guess everybody will care about, because when you actually choose a city, you'll consider what universities the city has to offer. We know that Beijing is like China's political and political and cultural center. It is also China's educational center. And that's why most of the educational resources are pivoted towards Beijing. And in the city of Beijing, there are a list of China's top universities, and Beijing is actually home to most of China's reputable universities. And so we talked about some of those universities last time, and so today we'll go over them again. First of all, we have like Beijing. I mean, Beijing University, Peking University. That's the first one. Is located in Haidian district, right? And then we also have Tsinghua University, also in Haidian district. They're like sister university, both located in Haidian. One has stronger strength in humanities, and the other one has stronger strength in like the engineering and science courses. Okay, so both of these schools are pretty good, and as I mentioned in the last session, if you want to get into one of those universities, you have to be a top-notch student in your province, most likely within the top 10 or the top 20, my friends, right? It's I guarantee you, it's actually very, very, very hard to get into both of these universities, right? Um, so and then of course the list goes on. We have like Beijing Jiaotong University, Renmin University, or we have, I think it's called China's University of Political Science and Law, or we have just different kind of schools in Beijing, or like Beijing Communications University, different or China Agricultural University, China or China it's China Ethnic University. I don't know the English term of this, my friends, but pretty much what I want to say is that Beijing really has all of China's educational resources. The list, or China University of Communications, the list goes on forever. You could find like just a whole list of universities that you can actually choose for your studies. And Beijing is actually a city where you can experience a blend of like Chinese and Western culture, right, my friends? Oh, another thing, my friends, that I did not mention to everybody is the Hutan Alley in Beijing, right? If you happen to be a traveler in Beijing, you should definitely visit the Hutan, because it's like the street where ancient people live, but nowadays it has been converted into commercial use for tourism purposes. And of course, if you're an international student, you're more than welcome to visit that place and experience like how Beijing has changed from the past down to what it has changed to nowadays. All right. And of course, Beijing has all these fantastic public infrastructure, and the airports, hospitals, subways. I believe Beijing has like China's most sophisticated subway system. But that's a different story. We'll not talk about it in depth. Okay, so guys, I want to remind you that we are a company called AOE Chinese. We have lots of international students right here, and we have really helped a lot of people like choose the right Chinese university. We give them advice. We help them with the application process. We help them with material submission, as well as like obtaining scholarship in China. So actually, we are very, very professional. We are like one fit all service. If you have any questions about studying in China, if you think that studying in China is actually a very tough choice, I would strongly recommend that you drop us a message, and we can ease actually so many of your concerns, right? So that's one of the things that we have talked about, like Beijing. And then the next city we want to discuss right here is Shanghai. We know that Shanghai is actually, it's like it's like one of those very big international cities like Paris and New York City, right? So this Shanghai is like a big international city full of skyscrapers, full of financial institutions. In fact, like Shanghai is the economic center of China. So we know that pretty much with Shanghai's like accumulation of foreign capitals, and like all the capitals, they can also flow to different part of China, right? And many global banks and for financial institutions like Citibank, or I think the other one is called HSBC, right? Standard Charters. All these banks, they have their regional headquarter, or their China's headquarter in Shanghai. And so if you happen to visit the Lujiazui Financial District, is actually the central business district of Shanghai. You can see all those really tall skyscrapers, and if you ever get a chance to climb on top of those skyscrapers, you can get a very good view of the city. You'll see the Huangpu River with buildings on both sides of the city. And at nighttime, when the lights go on, my friends, when the lights go on, the city lights can actually, you know, you can get a very very nice night view or city view, right? Of course, the Lujiazui Financial District is like all the streets and all the places that uh, they are pretty clean and pretty modern as well, right? And actually, Shanghai is not only just like that at the Lujiazui district. I mean, if you go to different parts of Shanghai, you kind of like get the same feeling. Everywhere is full of skyscrapers. Everywhere you can find a lot of financial institutions. In fact, it's not just the like Citibank or HSBC establishing their regional headquarters in Shanghai. We also have like the four accounting firms like Deloitte, KPMG, um, PwC, all this different kind of stuff, right? So basically, those companies they have like how should I say, they have those kind of like different firms in Shanghai. You'll find them in the Lujiazui district as well. I mean, so it's Shanghai is called they have the Pudong New District, and the Pudong New District they do have a lot more financial firms there, right, my friends? Okay, and also if you go to the west, like Puxi or these different kind of places, as I said, there are also skyscrapers. So Shanghai is a pretty modern city. If you're trying to experience a modern city life, just like New York City or San Francisco, then you should study in Shanghai. Now, Shanghai itself, it's not China's city. In my view, it's actually an international city. People there can speak English very well. And I mean, the English proficiency is very high. And actually, that's due to the fact that English is taught at various levels of education in Shanghai. I think I've spoken to an auntie in Shanghai. She said that starting in elementary school, the kids can actually read Harry Potter, or they can read some foreign novels in English. And a lot of the kids there, they can even speak four languages starting at a very very young age. Okay, and so they have passed like Haiti translation certifications. So pretty much, if you go to Shanghai, you can just get around by speaking English. You will find a lot of people like me in Shanghai, or just speaking English very very well, right? And actually, Shanghai's English proficiency is better than Hong Kong's English proficiency. That is according to a English proficiency survey conducted by, I think, the IELTS Institute. I'm not sure. It's just a global survey conducting the researching the English fluent proficiency of different cities. Like they gave their overall rankings, sort of stuff, right? And we also have another. So Shanghai, like as I said, there are also a lot of international populations. So you can find your own cultural enclaves there. Like we have the French Concession. We have people from all over the world. So you can find a group of just like expats speaking their own language, like a group of people speaking English, like, English speaking population. That's the hugest population. Also, there's Russian speaking population, French speaking population, etc. Right? Different populations of people speaking English there. Of course, like Shanghai, you can still find a lot of like traces of Chinese culture. Like if you go to Yuyuan, there are also lots of like ancient towns and villages, even in the heart of Shanghai. Imagine in this very busy city with all the tall buildings and all the financial institutions, you still have those like low-key ancient towns, like for water, and you can try some delicious local food, my friend. Oh my gosh, this experience actually is pretty amazing, right, my friends? Okay, so but now coming to the next point, a lot of you really care about this, is what about Shanghai's educational resource. So just like Beijing, Shanghai is another educational center in China. I think in terms of educational resources, Shanghai only lies below that of Beijing. And also, a lot of China's educational resources and policies are also pivoted towards Shanghai. And so we have Fudan University, that's among the C9 League. We have Shanghai Jiaotong University. We have Shanghai Institute of Technology. Also, there are many great schools in Shanghai, like Donghua University, East China Normal University. The list goes on forever. And in fact, Shanghai has a pretty high concentration, pretty high concentration of like 985 schools and 211. I mean, schools on the 985 and 211 program list, all these kind of things, right, my friends? So it's extremely extremely lovely as well, right, my friend? Okay. So, and also, that like if you're trying to, so guys, if you're trying to get life in an international city, you should definitely choose Shanghai. I think there are also many like English top programs. Apart from these schools having many English top programs, many international schools, many international universities have established their a campus in Shanghai. For example, we have the Duke University Kunshan campus. We also have the NYU Shanghai. So different schools, they have different kind of like how am I meant to say? Different schools. They have different campuses in Shanghai. So Shanghai, it's home to a lot of like very good Chinese universities, and also like a lot of international universities have their campuses there. Okay. So that's that. And also now, guys, let me remind you, we are from AOE Chinese. We are actually a very professional company offering Mandarin services, studying in China programs, and HXK exams. So guys, if you have any questions about studying in China, you can contact us, because our services are not only pretty extensive. We cover everything from document verification, visa application, scholarship application, also your pre-arrival orientation, different sort of things, right, my friends? It's actually a very very nice city full of international life, full of different educational resources, you name it all, right, my friends? So as we know that actually like Shanghai is very popular, so the next city we'll discuss right here is Hangzhou, right? So Hangzhou is actually it's a pretty popular city in China. It's actually very different from a lot of the other big cities in China like Beijing or Shanghai. So it is like a quieter city, less chaotic. If you're trying to find some natural, like life is in outdoor nature, if you're trying to find a place to avoid the crowds or all sorts of things, I think Hangzhou is actually your best place to go, right? Hangzhou, we have a lot of beautiful sceneries here, right? The most famous one being the West Lake, right? A lot of Chinese poets have written a lot of great poems about the West Lake, and there's this, there are like different kind of ducks and lotuses, and also there's a saying called that if you walk on the east bank of the West Lake, you'll never miss this place, right? And there are very beautiful villas right here, right? And also, West Lake, if you go to the west side, there are like lots of forests, botanical gardens, a lot of different sort of like plants right there. It is extremely beautiful and picturesque. And also, if you go inside, my friend, right? And if you go inside, right, there is also also like some sort of things, right? Like the different just different kind of parks in there, right? Generally speaking, a lot of tourists, they go to the east side of West Lake, but most of them don't end up going to the west side of the West Lake. So the West Lake itself, I think, it's absolutely beautiful and wonderful, and you can have a very very lovely experience there as well, my friend, right? So basically, that's Best Lake, and also Hangzhou has other pretty good sceneries. Like another pretty nice place to visit is the Shishi Wetland. Shishi Wetland, like it's just like this area of forests and marshlands, all sort of things, and there are like different kind of plants and different kind of animal species inside. And these plants and animals, they have lots of important research values. So if you actually go inside if you go inside the West Lake, my friend, if you're going inside, you can get you can just get all different sorts of like things in the Shishi wetland, right? And they also have the Shishi wetland national wetland museums. And also, like, if you're a fan of Dragon Boat Festival, you can go into the Shishi wetland. And also you can view the Dragon Boat race. The Dragon Boat festival race is actually pretty is a pretty important session in the Shishi Wetland Park, and a lot of people absolutely love it. Right, my friends. So that's this part. And also, like Shishi Wetland, like the scenery there is pretty good. I've been there many times and totally love it. Right. And also, Hangzhou, as I mentioned, is pretty scenic. You can also grab a bike and bike along the Qiantang River and look at the river from both sides. I mean, the scenery is terrific. And also, we have so many other less famous places here in Hangzhou, such as Xianghu or Baimahu. If you ever happen to travel outside the city, I mean, in the peripheral regions, you can also go to lots of other beautiful ancient towns and villages. For example, we have the Qingshan Lake. Actually, at Qingshan Lake, they also have a pretty good like biking trail over there. The biking trail is pretty nice. And also, we have Tanglu or Jiande or the Thousand Island Lake region. The Thousand Island Lake is actually pretty nice as well, right, my friends? Like, it's a huge piece of lake that's like 30 times the size of, I think it's 1,000 times the size of West Lake. It's pretty good, and they have those very big fish head in the Thousand Island Lake region. So it's pretty magnificent. And also, we have Jiande. Jiande is actually another little town just below Hangzhou, and it's also extremely beautiful there, my friends. You absolutely love the scenery, right? Fuchun River itself, it's also extremely beautiful, right? I mean, you can see all the boats, all the little ducks and stuff like that. Just really wonderful and beautiful as well, my friends. Okay, so this is pretty like the Hangzhou, the surrounding area is actually pretty nice and pretty lovely as well, my friends. Okay, so that's pretty nice. And also, Hangzhou, we like, if you go to the north, we have places like the Liangzhu Lake. Also, we have different like ancient towns that you can visit, right? The city itself is just like totally in nature, and that's also true about the university campuses, right? As we mentioned that, like Zhejiang University, they have like 7 campuses spanning across the Zhejiang province. I mean, the Yuquan campus, as I mentioned during the last live streaming session, is actually embedded in the forest right below the mountains. It's very beautiful in there. If you happen to study on that campus, you'll feel like you're submerged in nature, right? You're sort of like studying in nature, and it's really lovely and very beautiful in there, my friends. Okay, so that's this part. And also, we have different sort of like different sort of like other kind of places to go. For example, we have there are also a lot of other pretty good universities in Hangzhou. For example, we have Hangzhou Dianzi University, Hangzhou or Zhejiang Gongshang University or Zhejiang Normal University, Hangzhou University, and I mean the list actually goes on forever, right, my friends? And because Hangzhou is also pretty, it also has lots of pretty rich educational resources, right, my friends? Okay, so Hangzhou, I think there's also like Zhejiang Institute of Science and Technology is a double first class university, right? So you can find all kinds of educational resources in Hangzhou, right? As so, guys, and there has been an increasing number of international students studying in Hangzhou. I had several friends that actually study on Jeddah. They're from Mexico, Morocco, Jeddah. They have a pretty big mix of everybody from different parts of the world, from like Morocco, from like Jordan, from Mexico, from USA, from South Korea, from Thailand, just different sort of places. Right, my friends? Okay, so and then apart from that, my friends, we also like but I think that overall, like Hangzhou, the educational resources here is not as rich as Beijing or Shanghai, but it's still a lot better than a lot of the other cities in China. Okay, so that's this part. And we also have now the next city. And okay, before we go on to the next city, I want to remind you that we are from AOE Chinese. We're a professional company specializing in Mandarin studies, HSK exams, and also the study in China programs, right? We are our services are actually quite comprehensive, and if you if you actually study in China, right? If you have any concerns, you can always message us. We can help you with scholarship, visas, documentations, and all that kind of stuff. Right, my friends? It's pretty convenient to be here. Right, my friends? Okay, so that's this part, and right, my friends, don't forget to follow our channel because all the times we're going to be updating videos on HSK, China studies, and also on Chinese language programs, right? Those are pretty nice indeed. All right. So that's this part. And also another city we would recommend to you is Shenzhen. Shenzhen is actually the Silicon Valley of China, right, my friends? And so it is actually a part of China's Greater Bay Area, right, my friends? Very nice part, right, my friends? And also, we have, oh, sorry, we also have different sort of so Shenzhen, let's talk about the history first. So Shenzhen was not that famous like 4 decades ago or 5 decades ago. In fact, it started off as a small fishing village, right? I mean, if you go from Hong Kong into Shenzhen, you'll find like there's, the city life is gone. You just feel like, hey, we're in a very poor place outside in the wilderness, in a place that's totally underdeveloped, right? And so Deng Xiaoping, when he started the opening up and reform policy, he had given Shenzhen lots of favorable economic resources, right? So Shenzhen has always established partnership with Hong Kong, right? And so Hong Kong just transferred the capitals into Shenzhen, while Shenzhen provided Hong Kong with the natural resources and the human capitals, right, my friends? And Shenzhen, so with the China's economic policies and also with Hong Kong's economic support, Shenzhen grew tremendously in just a matter of 4 decades. And now Shenzhen is also it has a higher GDP than Hong Kong, right, my friends? And so if you go to Shenzhen, you can also see those skyscrapers. You can say that Shenzhen is also like China's economic center, but it's not like Shanghai, but it's still like a regional economic center in the Greater Bay Area, and Shenzhen like spans so many neighbor cities like Shantou or Guangzhou or Zhuhai. These other um, different sort of cities, right, my friends? And so there's the Hong Kong River in Shenzhen, and if you go to the Hong Kong River, you can actually like you can get a grand view of both sides, my friends, right, my friends? So Shenzhen is a pretty nice city, international city, very lovely indeed, for all of my friends. Okay, that's extremely nice. And so there are also lots of like Shenzhen is also China's like tech center due to and since I just said it's the Silicon Valley of China. So we have Huawei, Tencent, DJ, all different kinds of like tech companies in Shenzhen. It's very, very lovely indeed, and really great as well, my friends dear. And and in Shenzhen, right, my friends, you can see like the Huawei Park. Oh my gosh, Shenzhen is. What can I say about Shenzhen? Shenzhen itself is just like very, very lovely, very big modern city indeed, right? And of course, Shenzhen has some very good universities. For example, Shenzhen University, or the Southern China University of Technology, Zhongshan University, and we also have many international schools, international universities setting up their campus in Shenzhen. Right, so Shenzhen, although its educational resources is not exactly the same as in Shanghai, or Beijing, it still has some of China's very good schools on the C9 on the Night 5 program list or the 211 program list, right? So Shenzhen itself, I think it's a pretty lovely sort of place that we can mention, right, my friends? Okay, so and so these universities, they have pretty good connections with all the industries, right? If you want to work in the tech industry, I recommend that you choose a school in Shenzhen, and then once you graduate, you can find a job hopefully in Huawei. Actually, Huawei employs a lot of international students targeting different markets across the world, right? And Shenzhen is also China's logistics center. So if you want to find a job in the global e-commerce industry, I definitely recommend Shenzhen to you, right? I mean, there's like a lot of companies doing live streaming on different social media platforms. There's also lots of like companies that with logistics support sort of things, right, my friends? Okay. So that's that. And then another city we want, and guys, before we go on to the next city, I want to remind you that we're here from AOE Chinese. We are a company specializing in Mandarin studies and HSK exams, and also we have different sort of like, also we have the HSK exams, and we also have those kind of like like we can study in China programs. We help you with university selection, with like document verification, submission, visa processing, all those different kind of stuffs, right, my friends? You can definitely contact us for our service. Our service is actually pretty comprehensive, comprehensive and inclusive, right, guys? So you should contact us if you have any concerns about studying in China, my dear bestie. Okay, so another city, and so definitely contact us. And guys, we have two more cities that I want to introduce you on the list, and the next one we want to introduce is Nanjing, which is the capital city. Sorry, my throat. The capital city of Jiangsu province, right? It's just like Beijing. Nanjing had been the capital city of China for so many dynasties, so it's rich in history and culture, right? We have like different sort of famous sites in Nanjing, like the Fuzi Temple, and also President Cabinet, Nanjing City Wall, and the Sun Yat-sen Mausoleum, right? In fact, it's actually a very big city, but if you go to the suburban areas, you can also find a lot of like outdoor nature, like there's the great Yangtze River. If you actually go to the Yangtze River, if you climb that bridge, you'll see get a really grand view of the river with the boats passing by below, my friends. Okay, so and also Nanjing, we have some very beautiful mountains. On the mountains, there's like lots of beautiful, nice trees and like a lot of really nice trees and forests and all that kind of things, right, my friends? And the city itself, oh my gosh, my friends, very lovely, very natural. It's like a city. It's like a modern city, but it's also got a little bit of outdoor natures right there as well. Okay, so there are also many great schools in Nanjing. Nanjing University is actually a pretty famous school. It's among the C9 League, right? And also, we have different other schools like Nanjing Institute of Technology, Nanjing University of Information and Technology, Nanjing Forestry University, right? And and Nanjing is like the regional economic center in Jiangsu province, spanning all the other different cities nearby, like Suzhou or Suzhou, Nantong, Suzhou, Nantou, all these different sort of places, right, my friends? Like it's the economic center of Jiangsu, right? And there's also like Zhenjiang. There's also another place. It's called Huaying, right? And also next to Nanjing, we have like it's called the world's richest city. I'm sorry, the world's richest village. It's called Huaxi Village, right? Huaxi Village is pretty. It's actually pretty rich, my friend. Very, very rich city there. Okay. A very rich village. Okay, it's actually full of heavy industry there. Nanjing is also pretty strong in the heavy industry as well. I mean, you can find different sort of like companies there, different sort of like different sort of like technology there as well. Okay, so guys, don't forget that we are from AOE Chinese. We're a company specializing in HSK services, Mandarin HSK exams, Mandarin services, and also studying in China programs. And guys, if you do have any questions about studying in China, if you want to choose the right university for you, you should contact us. We'll help you increase your chance of getting inside, and we will also help you with, we'll help you with increasing your chance of getting inside, and we'll also help you with like attaining your scholarship. Okay, so that's that. And also another great city is that we want to mention is Xi'an, which is the capital city of Shanxi province, right? So Xi'an has always been the capital city of China for the past few dynasties. Nowadays, it's like the heart of the of China's northwestern region, right? And there's like thousands of years of history dating back to the Qing dynasty, right? And so we have places like the City Wall and Terracotta Warrior. And now when foreigners actually visit Xi'an, they must visit those three places that I mentioned: City Wall, Terracotta Warrior, and the Goose Pagoda, my friend, right? And in fact, if you visit Xi'an, you'll find many architecture from the Tang and Han dynasty. They're really ancient. Nowadays, we converted them into restaurants, nightclubs, or bars and cafes, different sort of things, right, my friends? So it's a pretty ancient city, but those ancient structure, they have also been converted into modern use, my friends. Okay, and also, we have the very beautiful Qingli Mountain Range in Xi'an in the southern part, right, my friends? And like in the Qingling Mountain Range, you have Huashan. Huashan is actually one of the five sacred mountains in one of the five sacred mountains in China, right? And also, it's just pretty popular destination, right? Along the Qingling Mountain Range, we have different sort of things like the parks, rivers, forests. I mean, actually, in the Qingling Mountain Range, we have a lot of national parks, my friends, right? In those national parks, you can actually go hiking, mountain climbing, cycling, so many different sort of things. Right, right, my friends. Okay, so that's pretty nice indeed. And okay, my friends, and also we want to mention that Xi'an is also like China's transportation hub. There's like the high-speed railway line. It connects Xi'an with many neighboring towns like Chengdu, Zhengzhou, Lanzhou. Because as I said, is the center of like the regional center of China's like northwestern region, and also Xi'an. They have like this. It's one of the stops along the Sino Europe subway lines, right? So a lot of the transportation, if they go from Hangzhou or Shanghai into Europe, they must take a stop in Xi'an. They actually have a pretty big railway port, a pretty big international railway port in Xi'an is pretty nice. And also, Xi'an, they have the the huge international airport right there, my friends. And so yeah, and Xi'an, they do have like a tax-free service area that's also pretty nice indeed. Okay, so that's this part. And also, Xi'an is pretty strong in the national defense sector. There are lots of like heavy industry there. They produce machinery for China's military, and in fact, the Xi'an has all some of China's most powerful military bases there as well. And for the sake of protecting China's national security, we're not going to talk about these military bases. Okay, so I don't want to touch the red lines here. And Xi'an also has very strong like Xi'an's aeronautical industry is also extremely strong, right, my friends? And they I don't really know exactly what they have to offer, but there's so many aerospace research centers in Xi'an. It's pretty nice. And nowadays Xi'an has what's called a high-tech district. A lot of companies, like a lot of Chinese companies or global companies, they set up like their research bases or their branch company in the Xi'an high-tech district. And the environment there, I have to say, my friends, is actually pretty nice in recent years as well, right, my friends? And don't forget that Xi'an also has some of China's very good universities, right? There's the Xi'an Normal. There's the Northwestern University of Industry. There's the Xi'an University of Science and Technology, Xi'an Dianzi University. Just all different kind of schools there in Xi'an. I think it's pretty nice. And also, Xi'an, they have like the pretty good educational, and Xi'an has like established their research institutes. And Xi'an, like what I have to say is that if you try to work in the tech industry, you can also consider going to Xi'an, because so many companies have their regional headquarters there as well. Guys, don't forget that we're from AOE Chinese. We offer you comprehensive services in studying in China. We help you with university selection, document submission and verification, and also we walk you through the whole process of living in China before you arrive. We can give you orientation, and after you arrive, we can make some arrangements for you for daily life as well, right? So guys, please subscribe to our channel, and guys, we'll regularly update videos on these three topics. Okay, HSK exam, studying in China, and also on in Chinese language learning, because our services right here, they're pretty inclusive and pretty professional as well, right? Don't hesitate, my friends. So if you have and so today we talk about Chinese cities, right? We mentioned just 6 cities: Beijing, Shanghai, Xi'an, Hangzhou, Nanjing, and Shenzhen. Of course, we know that China has a lot of other cities that we can choose from. Like there's also Chengdu, which is very popular. Chengdu, like is in the Sichuan Basin. There's very rainy weather there as well, and also we have Suzhou. Suzhou is pretty nice. It's just like Hangzhou. It's like heaven on earth. It's just like heaven on earth. And also we have we also have Qingdao. Qingdao is a coastal city along the port there as well, my friend. So and also there's Harbin. Harbin is far up northeast right there. There's a great place for skiing as well. Okay, so my friends, thank you so much for watching today's live streaming session. Every time we'll prepare a topic. Every time we will choose the topic for you. And if you have any questions about studying China, all that sort of things, please don't feel free to ask us. We're happy to provide you with assistance on everything. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Bye. See you later. Bye. Bye, guys. See you later.